Hello, this is Monsieur Chan. Bonjour. I'm just gonna talk you through the proposal template, um, and just kind of how you tackle this. These are kind of clear, you know, your project name and blah blah blah. Basically, you just follow what the red letters, like what the red words say. But I just want to go in more detail to kind of show you what I expect from you guys. Here's what I expect from you guys. Like, well, this is a successful proposal, and this is not successful. And you can kind of see the difference. It's kind of like how in depth you go about answering those questions. You could answer all these questions, but not but not be competent yet. Um, Quite a lot of these actually answer those questions, but they're just not in depth. And kind of you'll see kind of when I'm getting into it that the difference is that this one goes through the what model, the what, so what, now what model, but this one doesn't. That's kind of generally speaking the differences. So I'll just go through a few of these so that you can kind of get the fair idea about what I mean. And I would say generally just read through this and uh, just quickly skim through it, just so you can get a fair idea about what I expect from you guys in terms of content. Um, Otherwise, you could also just listen to me here, but I'd recommend doing both. Okay, so what will you make and why? Try to add details. So what will you make is basically like, is it a poster? Is it a video? Is it audio? Is it a magazine? You know, what media are you making and why are you making it? Try to add details too. So when it comes to my one, um, I'm making a poster, and it's a way to communicate my message, which is that there's negative that it's communicating the negative effects of vaping. And then I go into like details, like it needs to have images of like pie graphs and bar graphs, like information about vaping, statistics, and just the different articles. Just talk that my interpretation of the different articles will be on it too. So you see, I mentioned what I'm going to make, and then why I'm making it, which is to communicate my message, which is the negative effects of vaping, and then the details is just like the kinds of things that would be on my poster. Like if you were doing a video, it'd be like what kinds of things would be in your video, what would you be covering in that or in your audio. Problem. Yeah, that's right. And also, let's have a look at this one. I will make a poster because I want to do it. Yeah, and it's misspelled. So make sure that you don't misspell things, first of all. This is a professional proposal. It's something that, like, in the real world, you'd give to your boss. So don't do that. Make sure that it's, like, spick and span, that it's spelt correctly, that, like, little flaws like that won't appear. Like, make sure that it's looking professional. Um, okay. What problem, issue, opportunity trying to solve? You're trying to solve. What is the problem? Um, well, in my situation, wait, hold on. What is the problem? Yeah. Um, my problem is that I've come to the conclusion that vaping has more negative effects on society and people than positive. So I want to make sure that there's that I want to make something to convince people that they probably shouldn't vape. So and the reason I chose my the poster is because it's an effective way to communicate to people of different ages, all ages. Like anyone can read a poster and kind of just get a fair sense of what it's trying to say. And it's generally pretty effective with young people. It's if it's like attractive and if it attracts your eye. So which is particularly important because the majority of people that are actually vaping, well, a large amount of people that are actually vaping nowadays are young. Um, so if I use a poster, it will actually attract the people that I'm trying to target. Cool. Vaping is bad for people and they shouldn't do it. Again, it's misspelled. I mean, like, if you want to do something, if you want to quickly um, fix these spelling mistakes, you just go right click it and then just go to the correct one. You know, doesn't take too long. Yeah. Um, yeah. So vaping is bad for people and they shouldn't do it. Okay. So you've mentioned the what, but even the what isn't like really clear. Like what is it like exactly? It doesn't really show it. Doesn't even like kind of hint at why it's bad for people. And then they shouldn't do it. It doesn't really say why. Like it's not really getting into why that is the case and why I chose a poster to communicate it. Like, how does using a poster actually solve this problem? This doesn't actually, it doesn't show that. And what do you hope to achieve from this project? I hope to inform students and readers of the effects of vaping on their health and hopefully convince them that they shouldn't take it up as a habit. I'm going to do this. I also hope to show this to our principals and deputy principals so that it could perhaps be shown. Blah blah blah. So I came up with the what, the so what. I hope to inform students and readers of the effects of vaping on their health and hopefully convince them. Blah blah blah. And then the now what is I'm going to put my poster up at school and hopefully in in Mangere Town Centre so that people can read my poster and maybe be convinced that they shouldn't take it up as a habit. So that's more in depth than I don't know. Yeah. Don't ever do this. You haven't answered the question. Always answer the question in front of you. I'm gonna do a couple more. What are the requirements for this project? What must your project need in order to be successful? Yeah, so requirements and specifications, they're kind of similar. Um, the way they're different is that this is kind of like talking about um, the different things you need your end product to have and to be like, and it also explains why. And this is just a quick kind of like what like my poster needs to be PDF. It needs to be A3 and landscape. It needs to have readable font so people can read it. It needs to have 5mm margins on the sides because my poster needs to be has a lot of information, and so I can't have large margins on the sides. I need a school logo and pictures and high resolution images. So it shows all the things that I want my outcome to have at the end of the day, but this kind of like goes into detail about why that is the case. So like I want there to be digital and paper form for my poster so that students can see it both online and at school. It must be displayed in PDF format so that it can be shared digitally with anyone without anyone changing it, because the PDF is just something you can view as opposed and you can't edit it. Must have an appropriate color scheme which matches Mangere College's colors because it will be for the students of Mangere College. So like if you have the color scheme of Mangere College, it will be clear that it's for the students of Mangere College. Things like that. Um, and finally, the last two. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. You get the idea with the not yet competent example. Um, resources needed, yeah, done. End users. So end users are like end users are basically like who will be affected by your project. So since I'm like on my vaping project, I'm putting up my vaping poster in the hallways and in classrooms at my school. The people that will be affected are the people that actually see it. So that's students, principals, teachers. If I'm going to put it in the community town center, the community will be affected too. And why does it matter? What if they like why? So that's a so what, right? Why does it matter? Well, What if people don't agree with what I've written on my poster? What if they are offended by the things I've written in the poster? What if they think that it's not appropriate for the place where it's put? Maybe some people have that opinion that they don't think that that poster should be put in the school because vaping isn't something that's appropriate to be talked about at school. I don't know. Um, yeah, so that's essentially like what are the end users? Um, why does it matter that they're the end users? Like why do you need to worry about the end users with respect to your project? So for me, it's like the why is it appropriate for, like, maybe people will be offended, maybe people would be disagree with the things that are written in it, then that will kind of cause problems because maybe people will start complaining about it. Yep. So thanks for listening and good luck to your proposal.